Hello, Baystack, and welcome back to poLANd.tf 2026. We're back on the desk, we're back with Cerny, we're back with Demul, and we're back ready and raring to go for some more TF2 action. Round number 1 just finished. We just saw Joey GUNZ in action 4-2 win up against Aragosting Hazard. But we alluded to it just before the break. They have a much tougher opponent up ahead of themselves in DM, recent Prem Grand Champions, and of course with Bobo coming over. Let's get a bit ahead of ourselves. How are we feeling? Are we refreshed after that quick 5-minute break, Demul?
No, but it's gonna be good. Like, it's gonna be a real game, actually. Like, Dolimagas just won Prem. Was an interesting match, and I think the Yak team got 5th. So on paper, Dolimagas should crush them. But Yak team is a weird one to play against. So they might have some secret of classes.
Yeah, we all heard about there was a rumor before the I think it was before this one, where they were running like mini sentries on Bagel and things, right? So we've heard all about the Yak secret strats, right? But given what you just saw in that previous game, Cerny, like I know you alluded to it before the break, right? But like this is a huge step up. But in a best of 1 situation, do you think they could be in with a chance?
I mean, if we were to observe DM in the vacuum that was ETF2 playoffs, most of the maps started pretty slowly for them. They have a slow playstyle to begin with, but it started slowly for them. And if we're playing on a normal config, that might somehow have an impact on it. I can see Joey GUNZ doing some weird stuff, playing chaotically, like thriving in the chaos, taking away a round maybe, but realistically, even if they look better on form and they go up a round early, DM should just eventually like get into it, warm up, play the game on their terms, right? I think you only struggle against Joey GUNZ when you let them play their game. As soon as you play on your own terms and you play the game how you want to play it instead of how they want to play it, and you just don't let them do the things they want to do, usually once you get that bit of control, they aren't that big of a thing to deal with. And obviously most of these DM players should at this point be capable of dealing with Joey GUNZ's shenanigans, I think.
Well, let's remind us all of the roster over on Joey GUNZ for anyone just joining us who didn't see them in their recent 4-2 victory. Got the roster up again: Univano on Scout, Tiram Alav on Soldier, Yak on Demo Man, and Alba playing Medic for now. That will later today be swapped from Piggles, who I think is probably in the air just over like the Netherlands, I'd guess by now. It's he's on his way over. He's landing up in Poland soon, and travelling to the Baystack instantly. But we just saw them in action, didn't we, Cerny? And we gave credit beforehand to Yakib on their opponent's side. Is there anyone here that you like thought, you know what, like their class kind of shone through in that previous game?
I think Alov was making a lot of good plays. I remember I was sitting behind him at some point, and he was actually upset for himself for not hitting an air shot that he really wanted to hit. But since then, he's been hitting every shot. Like he's been on top of the game right now, so he's been playing really, really well. I think that's just going to continue. Juno, obviously, he's always really good. He's been playing pretty decently. I think Varnu's going to take a bit to get warmed up. Tiram was a bit quiet, but they're all going to get warmed up. They're all going to get better as the day progresses, I think. So right now, my standout was Alov. He surprised me, but I think the rest of the team is going to follow suit soon enough, in my opinion.
Yeah, I want to say over to Demul, right? Like with with this roster on Joey Guns, right? They've had like a little bit of volatility, right? Do you think like the fact that they still haven't? We mentioned before Piggles how important that is, right? But like Alba coming in did get caught a couple of times, but like I think for the whole did all right. Like, do you think this might like Alba being sort of new into the roster as a stand-in? Does that make a big difference for this roster?
I think it is a big difference. Like one of the main mids that DM wants to do is target the medic. So I feel like they're gonna target Alba a lot. I don't think it would have worked against Piggles, but yeah, I think the weak link right now is Alba. If they manage to bring to keep Alba alive, the way DM play mids depends on the maps. They're not doing much. They're not doing much actually. They throw bodies from time to time, but they don't know how to play a sustainable mid.
Yeah, we'll see about Dirty Maggots now because, as you've alluded to, they are the Prem champions from the recent season. It just finished last week. And here we go. We got Af and Bomo on Scout. Bomo no longer playing at 150 ping, has flown all the way over to Wutch and will be the flank scout for DM. We've got Geordie and KN on Soldiers. KN, of course, used to play with Venom Crest, was here in that 4th place team with Yak last year. Zams on Demo, grand finalist at the previous poLANd.tf, and Juxta on Medic. So this team is obviously they were the best team. The best team in Prem. They won Prem, won the upper bracket final, won the grand final. How far do we see this team going realistically, Demol?
Well, they should get top 4 at the very least. If they don't get top 4, it would be a damn shame. Second is potentially doable. I don't see them, if they are up against Witness, I don't see them winning against Witness. Their track record is awful. I think they played like 10 maps against Witness. They won like 8 rounds. 8 rounds in 10 maps.
I actually looked at the stat for this. They played so across the autumn season and the Uberfest LAN. They actually played 12 maps, lost all 12 in a month. 1 month they lost 12 maps in a row to Witness. So, but the thing is though, they are better than everyone else in Europe. Our DM, right? They've shown that in Prem. They showed that last year as well. To be fair, finishing second at both Uberfest and in the ETF2L. But now the big thing for me, at least, is I want to see what Bomo can do. Right, coming in on the 150 ping like Serdi. Do you like with DM like? I don't know, it felt to me at least like Bomo was already doing pretty well on 150 ping. Like, how scared should the Europeans be of this guy?
I think if he plays to the level that he, that we know he can play to and that he's capable of, then that's going to be very, very scary. He was scary online without the ping debuff. Until it wasn't 150, it was more like 90. But even then, like 90 ping, it's rough. It's playable on Scout, but it is rough. Not having to deal with that, that's a big change. It's also interesting. It's so fascinating to me how DM had this playoffs run, because at the start of the season they were looking shaky. They were not looking solid at all. The roster changes really, really screwed them over and hit them, and they took a while to get adjusted to it. Like for the start of the season, Bomo was playing like he was playing on G6, which worked on G6 but didn't work on DM for the longest time because it's a completely different team. It took a while for them to adjust to it. Eventually they got there. Obviously they won, and they made history with Bomo being the first American to win ETF2L. It's quite something. Also, an interesting little tidbit I saw when we just saw the team screen. Only 3 colors in the flags present across that entire team. Red, blue, and white. And no nationality represented twice. Interesting, isn't it? Curiosity.
Wild, absolutely wild pull there from Serdi. But like back onto the roster again. There's another player I want to highlight over on Dirty Maggots, and that is KN coming in as the roaming soldier, because KN used to play on the Venom Crest roster, which obviously Joey Guns roster forms from, played with 4 of those players. Do you think that's like an advantage for these teams? Do you think like having an ex-player of Joey Guns over on the DM side, is that going to help out? Is it maybe going to know some of the strats?
I think it's been a while now since KN has played on that team, right? That he left like over a year ago at this point, and he's played a few seasons now with other teams, namely the Maggots, DM, and so like. I think like obviously he's still gonna have some of that background knowledge about what the team played like, but I think for the most part, it probably doesn't make as much of a difference necessarily. Like he's gonna know certain things that might happen, but for the most part, I think Joey GUNZ's playstyle probably has also changed a little bit with the absence of KN and the absence of Eon, right? They're not the exact same roster they used to be, even if they've mostly settled in now. Alov and Juxta, sorry, not Juxta, my bad. They're still like newer additions, right? So it's still gonna take a little bit for them to like play at the same exact levels. I think it's gonna very slightly. He might know how to counterplay against the soldiers if they played it. Like if Tyram and Alov played the same way that Tyram and KN did, maybe he's gonna know how to counterplay it as well. He is Mr. Direct. He hits every rocket, but at the end of the day, it's probably not as big of an advantage.
There's one thing I want to ask, Ed. Well, you mentioned this a little bit in passing before, right? About how far we expect this DM team to go. You said top 4 at least. Like looking at the other teams, obviously I know you're the biggest Mandem fan we have on the production crew. As you said, like do you think this team can repeat that against Mandem? How do you think they compare against the Americans? Like, do you think a final is on the cards possibly?
All right. First of all, I'm not the biggest Mandem fanboy. I'm just a haters of everyone else. Literally, I don't want the Americans to win. I don't want Witness to win again, and I don't want Dirty Megas to win either. So I guess Mandem. But yeah, I'll talk a bit about bot mode. I feel like bot mode is the biggest and the greatest addition that they could have. Like the way Dirty Megas play, they like to play slow, play conservative to some point. Like when they lose their med, they just throw bodies over and over. But bot mode, shenanigans, end of classes, is like a smart, sneaky rat on sniper, spy. He always had the really good timings, and whenever he plays sniper, he plays every angles, which is a big strength of a good sniper. And what was the question?
Do you think they'll get to the final? Maggots, do you think it's possible?
I can see them reaching the final.
Sure.
I don't know what's the matchup between them and the Americans. I feel like it's a question mark. But they already beat Mandem twice in a row. So they could have an easy path to final, but against Witness, that's another beast.
Yeah, it's a weird thing because I don't know about your opinion. I'm a believer that scrims aren't real, personally. I think scrim results mean literally zero. But if anyone who does believe in scrim results, I did see a scrim yesterday with the Americans and DM. They tied Process, I believe, yesterday. And that's been my limit of knowledge. But they're in the ballpark, you know. They're obviously Bomo played with some of those players as well. Back on G6, reached the Denver Grand Final. But looking at the these two teams, obviously you've said before, like the play styles really don't match up at all. We've got DM, one of the slower teams. Joey GUNZ will do whatever they want. So certainly, like, do you think certainly we're going to end up on like one of these middle ground maps again?
I mean, that's a good question. I mean, we just got a little spoiler. Product is not going to be one of the maps we play, so
never let Uni one sniper on Product.
Or the Varnu Classic. That would also be quite disastrous. No Sunshine either. I mean, sure, Metal works. Yeah, I mean, look, we know that if given a chance, DM would always pick it. So they're not.
But they spent 45 minutes trying to crack the Mandem last hold.
Yeah.
Across 2 games.
Look, I'm glad we're not seeing it. We're not seeing Bagel either, which is curious. So we're left with Process, Granary, and what's the final map here that I'm forgetting about now that is in the pool? Gully Wash. Yeah. All right, it's not going to be Gran.
That's strange. I always thought that DM were like a decent Granary.
Yeah, I thought they liked.
I thought it was a good map.
I feel like they liked Granary, but I guess they don't get the chance to because Joey GUNZ banned it. So now it's down to we're going to be playing Process. All right, fair enough.
It's gonna be the middle ground maps every game, isn't it?
But I feel like DM kind of suck on Process.
Yeah, they played in. Right. They lost map 1 of the upper bracket final. I believe, to Mandem.
Pretty like it was long-ish, but they kind of didn't really have much presence on it at all.
3-0, I want to say.
Yeah, it went on for a while because of the overtime. Obviously, like they had a bit of a second wind, but they never put a round on the board. They didn't really have much presence at all. So I don't know. You know, maybe it's different on LAN. Maybe they did their homework, but at least it's obviously a different matchup as well. It's Joey GUNZ. It's not Mandem. It's not as tough. It's not a map that they're traditionally very strong on, from what I've seen. So maybe that's going to play into. Maybe they're trying to practice. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, well, who's happier?
Yeah, Dirty Maggots mid on this map are dreadful. Literally, they don't know how to play this mid. They stay in choke and they just get outspanned by the rest because they don't have any ground on the map. I don't know about the Yak team, honestly. From what I remember, sometimes they like to bring a perma sniper on mid, but yeah, I don't really know what to think. Joey GUNZ, I feel like Joey GUNZ could be good on this map against them. I'm surprised about the bans though. Dirty Maggot's fear of the cough maps is actually like product. I could see it like not wanting to play against a perma sniper, but Bagel.
But also you have bot mode.
Yeah.
So you have bot mode, Joe. So like we saw what he did at Denver. We saw what he did in the finals. Like on product, that's not something you should be too afraid of. Like yeah, you have to deal with a perma sniper on the other side, but you have a player more than capable of dealing with it as well. So it is curious. It is curious.
No, like they don't like cough maps. That's all. But the Bagel one is the biggest surprise. I don't think the Yaks team is that good on this. I'm surprised about the girly last ban as well. Actually, I'm not surprised. I think Dragons like that map. But yeah, like
They saw the Tide Turner strat in the season and they're scared.
yeah, they must have seen that.
Yeah, no, but it's a weird one. I'm not sure. At least for me, I know we've obviously we say it's maybe a strange pick ban, but for me, I don't think it really changes my predictions for the outcome. Like, do you think it do you think now Joey GUNZ are more likely to win, or do you think like it's still DM are going to win this?
I think it's gonna be really close. I can see like a 3-2, 4-3 score. I still favor Dirty Magas. Should be. Honestly, I don't know.
What about you, Cerny?
I think I agree for the most part. I see DM coming out on top here at the end of the day, but it's probably going to be a lot closer than it has any reason or than it necessarily has to be. I think it's just the map choice might screw them over a little bit here. If they truly do not look on form, maybe they did their homework. It's possible, right? Like I saw them lose a scrimmage today and immediately review the demo. So who knows, right? It's all feasible that they maybe just figured out how to play mids differently. Maybe it's just Joey GUNZ not playing to the top of their form as well. But as the Moose says, this could go very closely. It's probably a win for DM, but it might be a 3-2 or maybe even a 4-3. Maybe it's a slow one. Maybe it's a 1-0 or 2-0 or 2-1 or something like that, right? So, but it will be close. It will be grueling, I think, in many ways for the Maggots. Sorry, for DM.
They've been called that now for 2 seasons and a LAN, haven't they? With Uberfest as well. And I'm the same. I'm catching myself calling them that as well. It's it's unfortunate. We've had a lot of name changes later on this. Like, I think White Lotus, the American team, went through 3 names in about 2 weeks.
Yeah, weren't they supposed to go as what was it? I've already forgotten, but it was supposed to go as like the one name for the longest time.
And
they
were Money Balls for a long
Money
time.
Balls, exactly.
And then they changed to Inglorious Bubbas for about a week.
Yeah.
And then and
we were busy pre-producing the videos, right? And they had to like redo the one for Lotus twice because of the
shout out Bluetooth for fixing that and the on the edit on the Lotus video that you may have seen on the Essentials YouTube channel.
You should watch them.
Yeah, if you haven't, you absolutely should be going and having a look at those at some point after the games. They might be coming on broadcast later on as well at some point, maybe later on in the tournament. But we've got for some of the top teams, we've got some video content. It's explaining, bringing people up to speed on some of these teams. But yeah, no, the DM thing. Yeah, I think that was like literally this week, right?
Pretty much. I think they did it like just before ETF12 playoffs, and during the playoffs, everybody kept calling them Dirty Maggots, and then Jordy messaged like somebody in production, I think Samus, and was like, "Oh, by the way, we would prefer if you just called us DM," and we were like, "Okay, buddy, that's not an easy change like this shortly before LAN, man. You should have given us more time." Oh well.
Yeah, well, we've got a few players getting into the server. I'm not sure if they're quite ready to go just yet. But no, I want to say, like, looking at like back over to the DM roster, right? I know we've mentioned it a couple of players, but like Zams is someone that I sort of want to zone in on because he used to play for Mandem, won Prem I think it was just over a year ago now at this point, maybe just about 1.5 years ago ish. It was 2 years ago, yeah. It was 2023, I think, at the very end. 2024 was it? Okay, yeah. No, But no, he's honestly like last LAN I was really impressed. It seems like he's kind of getting better and better as it goes on. Like, what do you think he brings to this Maggots team?
I don't know. I don't really know if he brings a lot, but he's clearly underrated, especially when you have like Lucas or Fancy. He's a bit in the shadow of these two, but he shouldn't be. He's the gap between Lucas, Fancy, and Zams is not that big at all. Zams is really, really, really good. So I feel like it's a good matchup with Logan. Like Logan has a lot to prove, in my opinion, compared to Zams. Zams is already proven. So don't have much to say about Zams. Zams is really good, that's all.
Well, but I think we've got some plays in server. We're going to final quickly. What score do you think this match is going to be, Demul?
3-2 for DM.
What about you, Cerny?
I basically agree, but because I can't say the same thing because it's going to look stupid, I'm going to say 2-1 for DM.
Okay, there we go. Right, so Desk going for a mild, slight victory in the favour of DM. But we've got players joining the server. We've got 2 casters at the ready to see what is going to happen in this round 2 fixture here on Process. We've got Turbo Tabs and we've got Domato once again.
I'm telling you, one more time you talk over me, Domato. You're just gonna. Oh, hey, guys! Welcome. Turbo Tabs here. Got Domato. We're best buddies, though, aren't we? Yeah. But obviously, I'm still excited here for Domato to be casting this LAN. It's round 2
Yes.
that we're in, and it's going to be following the Joey GUNZ story in this, the sequel. Now they're facing off against a huger villain. It's going to be DM.
Will it be the entire trilogy? But we were basically role-playing. If you guys go off those featured profile pictures, it's a soldier against a soldier. One soldier has a maggot on top, and the other soldier has like a shotgun. Who's going to win?
Yes, it is a fight to see who gets to keep the avatar and keep the soldier class. But these two teams, like D-Moore was saying, this is a real game, Domato.
Yeah, definitely. And I also, before I get trashed in Twitch chat and everywhere all beyond, I am allowed and certified by Zams to call them dirty maggots, even though it is abbreviated to DM.
Right. Well, I was talking to Bot Mode, and Bot Mode was like, please don't call us dirty maggots. I don't like that name.
And I mean, it's sort of the split up, but we saw from Joey GUNZ a little bit fickle sometimes. I'm not saying LAN nerfs at all, but apparently we see like product ban, usual ban if you don't want to play against a perma sniper. Now we are right into process, teleporting ourselves there. I'm not so sure if Yak switches once more to the sticky jumper.
I'd imagine the unlocks are going to be a bit zeroed in, at least like for the bad ones. Expect the good ones though. So they were rocking a bit of heavy to mid sometimes. I'm not sure if that's still in the arsenal kit for Joey GUNZ, where they were eating a nice little steak sandwich and then they'd start running that heavy over. But there's still going to be some unusual tech. I think DM's main promise of the bans was try and keep all that unusual rubbish to a minimum.
Dirty Maggots also have to have their first sort of trial test, you would say. I mean, if it's anything else, then maybe pretty dominant, say like 4-1 or 5-0, you know. Other players, and this LAN is packed with competition, are already looking at this. And what is Dirty Maggots going for, or where's their skill level? Because we saw in the normal season.
Yes. It was quite an upset. Yeah,
yes.
You're right. You're inferring about that grand final that they had against, it was Mandem. Witness, nowhere to be seen. They were actually hidden off the map. I guess maybe hiding from a Froyo, but Froyo were also hiding from a Witness. So, you know, it all kind of came full circle here.
Everyone is just hiding from everyone, but what is still escaping us is action that might go live as soon as we already have 10 gamers, so that is already a definite better boding here. But I already had myself put on the pedestal to be chested or chastised. I am predicting a Dirty Maggots victory. Do you oppose that?
Yeah, it's very easy to look at the book and realise that Dirty Maggots have an easy chance here. They did win the season. Joey GUNZ were in the season. Ipto facto, they probably can beat Joey GUNZ. But Joey GUNZ have the hope that this is a best of one. You can do an easy sucker punch in the world of LAN in a best of one scenario. Get yourselves high up on that table, and then who knows where you get taken in that playoff stage.
I'm happy because now you were the one bringing in Latin, so it is quid pro quo. I do to you what you did to me. And Joey GUNZ, I have to bring in one quote that is not at all Yak coping, but he said in the normal season they had to come 5th because he didn't have time for playoffs.
Yeah. Well, hopefully Dirty Maggots can, what is it, Veni, Vinci, Venza?
Veni Vidi Vici.
Yes, that was what I was going with. I know words, but...
That's why we're here. You see this?
Yeah, I know the English ones. I just don't know all the other, all your fancy ones. But
I mean, usually in English it's just incorporated. But what else is incorporated here? Maybe, I mean, looking at Process, literally the most standard map in sixes.
Yeah, it's going to be going over to Process. You're right, and Process. I think it's literally going to Process right now, if I do say so myself.
We're still processing the thought of it.
Yeah, I think maybe we'll process over to our rollout.
Wonderful, and once more here.
Oh
Elva!
my God!
Elva! Hide the threat! We
my
didn't
God.
see anything!
Confirmed! Get that man banned!
You know, Pickles is in the airplane, but now the airplanes might be unleashed here on this very third mid-fight. No one falling, Tyrim taking heavy punishment. Elof as well!
Oh my God! ETF2L, get on the phone! They're all just
Ring,
cheating.
ring. Elof is sort of bugging into the wall, but now bot mode comes in. Bomo, so much FOMO. Ultimately, though, Jomo for his team as he reigns supreme.
All right, 50 Cent. Like, we calm down. It looks like just a bit of a kind of an STV bug. Everyone's playing a bit of the midget
crits!
class. They actually pop off the crits, but only for a half second. Blink and you missed it because they aren't really getting that capitalization on the over the DMTing.
One player that was not missing it was Vanu, though. He only needs one split of a second to gain one frag, so just think if he gets that crits like 2 seconds, that's a complete wipe if you extrapolate it. Tyrion is still in behind
He's
their
going
line.
to get a scout pick, but he switches to medic.
A warning shot.
Maybe a bit of ADD there for the soldier class, I'm afraid. But, you know, they're back at last now. Time to start setting up the defenses. Vanu on engineer. We've got the stickies on last point, but they're already pushing.
Do I hear boss music? Tune into Shazams to find out, as Zems is already lecking the left side here and now traversing to the right side. Meat shot by F. Time after time. Bot mode comes close, but it's a follow-up rocket though from T-Ram, straight delivered into that opposing scout. And eventually 1 versus 3. F!
You have to give a lot of credit to Joey GUNZ. They survived a lot of that last without Yak on that sort of like defensive net of the stickies on point. So, oh, and Albert taking another swim.
He just threw the concrete, but Bomo again doesn't want to leave out, doesn't have the fear of missing out on Sniper now.
Oh, he gets the first shot immediately. What value on a sniper? Why were these guys scared of Product again?
Oh, almost even the air shot hit here by KN, but Elof put into the ground. Fear and loathing in Las Vegas. Fear and loathing in Poland, as he was just absolutely plummeted down to the ground. And now, huge Uber advantage to Ram.
Well, he gets somewhat of a nice rocket to start off with, but it's a tall order, baiting your entire team and waiting that you're going to get this wonderful off pick from the flank, but they actually get picked off by Vanu.
A lot of focus fire here still. The target selection is important, but the point timer is way more important, as a KN air shot in humiliation time. The Dirty Maggots, they carry on, they decompose Joey GUNZ 1-0 lead.
Yeah, it's looking a little fragmented over on the side of Joey GUNZ. I think some people are playing one game and some people are playing another, but whether or not they'll find the power of friendship through the middle of this game is another question to be asked.
Maybe they also find the feet below their feet, or the ground below their feet, since not bugging into the ground definitely leverages your game. Zems has already to peer toward the double soldier in the sky, but they're not leaping already forward. No, again, trying to find entrance door damage.
They're so healthy on the side of DM. This is going to be a very effective double soldier bomb. A lot of damage laid out, but no frags. They finally kind of follow up, but there's a lot of exchanging happening between both teams. And they keep
Juxta
their
still alive,
however, over on the side of DM.
June is chasing though. Juxta still juxtaposed by some players. T-Ram, ultimately T-Ram's Juxta into the ground. Only KN. Okay, KN. Juno is shooting him apart, so it's basically a medic for medic, but Albert went down first. He spawns first.
Yeah, it is. I mean, they did do the job. They did get the medic, but I do kind of wonder if there was a bit more focus fire there. You know, if you kill the soldier first, ipso facto, you're gonna get the medic later on. But I think a little bit of like sloppy play from Joey GUNZ, in my opinion.
I feel like my brain expanding from ipso facto. I feel like my brain expanding from Vanu.
I didn't know Vanu played the Ant class.
Vanu, I warn you to not do those exploits. Just walks through the sniper sideline here of bot mode.
Okay, but Vanu back on the ant. He's
Vanu
still playing in the game,
the
so we'll see
banhammer.
if he comes with this backstab. He's going to waddle over. It takes twice as long for the ant to get into place, but he's going to find a medic. Excuse me, I was just going to settle for the sniper, but thank you.
Vanu,
And easy stab and the sniper as well. 2 for 1 bargain sale.
I warn you, it doesn't even seem like a trade, just a really good deal after all, and they're going to pluck them apart here. Wonderful swimming through the concrete, and the knife was inflicted.
Vanu's still alive, need I remind you, so he's still going to be contributing to his team. Whether or not it's in a significant way is another, however. They haven't capped the second point here, Domato.
Still haven't kept the second point, but Juno already racking up to a 5k here, and Uber is popped. Juxta doesn't have an Uber to feature up against, and now F absolutely culled down, revenged upon by Alof. Yextel has some very juicy pipes here to serve to Dirty Maggots.
The scout is focusing fire on this one poor demo man. Are they really going to be able to dismantle the rest of these attackers from Joey GUNZ? Tyram is taking his time though. I don't know why, because he's got some respawners on the clock.
And you see bot mode is still chasing out. The scout is superior.
Oh,
Scout
wow.
is superior.
Have
to
you
the
ever been
soldier.
shot by such a scary pistol it made you suicide?
I'm not going to answer that as long as we are on line here and on air. But the scout is superior. Vanu, I warn you a third time. And not hit the shot though.
Yeah, we have to work on the sniper timing there, but Vanu will get chased down, peppered over by bot mode.
Instant Tama.
And Alov, though, however, will get the bomb and to try the attempt to live for Juxta's life, but nothing's really biting here, though, Domato.
The Juxta dodges where Sublime. He comes out once more and serves it a little bit from afar. A massive 70% Uber advantage. Vanu still not on the field. Vanu is leaping up through the air, not really finding anything else than field progress. You're conceding your second to hope to gain a pick on last as well. Alof down.
Yeah, it's okay, Alov. That happens to me whenever I enter 2 as well. It's such an annoying part of rollout.
Unfortunately, it's sort of premiership level, so you can't really work with it. I mean, still 20% advantage, and I think they want to, yes, instantly send it
KN's
here.
in, by the way. Where's my team? Good God. KN will go down, and they still haven't popped Uber over on Juxta, so maybe baited, or maybe they're just going for a pick, or maybe they assume that they actually have the Uber charge already, when you and I know they haven't.
Elba just about catches up on it now. You already pointed the finger where it hurts. Tyram points the rocket where it hurts spot mode, though. They're just bleeding at the seams here, losing so many players, or ultimately being pushed out by a blue team that, need I remind you this time, didn't have Uber for around 10 seconds and then just took dry fights.
My God, has anybody seen Juxta's Mouse 2? Mouse 2, anybody? We're looking for Juxta's Mouse 2. It seems they had opportunity and time to use that Uber charge, but we're just sleeping on it. I guess we're just hoping for the perfect pick play or the perfect opportunity. I mean, they are round up, I should say. They can take their time here.
Vanu walks in peripatetic play, bit idiosyncratically lifted off from his own compartment, but the comportment is still kept up, which means we're trying to utilize the different angles for the splash damage. A soldier from IT, and now though Zems follows suit here, and it forces the Uber. Alba took a combined effort, Sticky and Rocket.
Yeah, so they got forced out, and they haven't even got a pick here over on DM, so they're going to get feasted upon here as they want to obviously try and pick up the best of a bad situation, get the force over against Alba, but Alba's actually gone down.
The sniper as well. Tyram now in behind their lines, cannot Savior a pick for himself. The SMG is quite lethal in bot mode's hands as well, so Tyram still down on the field, and it is already a soldier pressuring into last.
Okay, but they're going to have respawners back any second now. They do lose Vanu, so that's annoying. They're trying to get on top of this medic class, but right now the
Juxta!
sniper actually rares the sort of shot from the sniper.
The serve from Juxta, the tide is high, but he's holding on. Bondi Globe, and still pumping the heals forward. Can they win this? Can they win the skirmish? You see Juxta close to the point, probably able to leave Zems on 5 HP.
This is what I'm talking about. They're taking too much time with this. All the pressure was put onto that sniper, and he was too busy using his SMG, the rare sort of unlock I don't really see on a sniper, then rather than getting that medic pick and or backing out or any sort of additional play. That sniper could really contribute.
Now he has to stare down a whole lot of players leaping into the sky, trampling down on the ground. Very difficult for target selection. They do have Uber.
Yeah, they've got the Uber. They wanted to hopefully push in, maybe capitalize on this. They're taking their sweet time with it, though. They really want to get all the value without having to click this Uber charge. Again, have you seen this mouse too? Where is it?
We have not found it, but bot mode probably finds a mouse 1 soon enough as 150 is enabled here, and Tirem, so much damage. F rushes in from this flank, and then ultimately Tirem's him into the ground. KN also a 2-man pick advantage.
I wonder if it's almost like a challenge coming out from DM. How much can we win this game without having to use the Uber charge? They're making them bleed here. And bot mode is still on the sniper class, so let's see if we can find the hero shot.
Can he?
Oh, I'm afraid not.
And Alba doesn't even pop. He told to me before he disrespects, but IF does not. Is not disrespected. A whole lot of cap time coming in. Yak
We're
falling
losing
down.
a lot of players.
Alba still not popping, only popping now.
Yeah, we've got finally popped off Uber, but they can just kite it so well because one of the main things of an Uber charge is actually having players to Uber with, and because they've got no one to really play off, they do get some respawners back, but there's just way too much in the tank for DM to overpower Joey Guns with.
That seals it, at least for the second round. We talked about it. Or Alba even had some choice words to me before. I disrespect scouts. I'm not popping Ubers. Apparently he also disrespects every other class that is charging him. And Juxta, I still haven't found that mouse too.
Does that mean Juxta disrespects everything?
Just everything.
My team?
Even if you tell me to Uber, I'm not going to, but third mid-fight.
Alright, so let's starting off from Joey Guns. Alof is going to relieve the early pressure from his team, getting the first initial aggro, and we're actually pushing and going for a rotational mid, so whoever kind of gets the bad end of this this team fight is going to be losing out on a medic more
That was
likely.
rotten by Jordi on Dirty
There you
Maggots. Alba cleaned up as well. That was not what Jomi was aiming for. Now a double scout and only against Juno, the last man standing. Yak now being concurrently charged out of IT. And the intelligence is still one pipe, but Jordi is a match for him.
There's a clean wipe here, and what makes it even more difficult is they've got Juxta on that 100% Uber charge. They were making a go of it to say it was even Ubers amongst both of these teams, but the fact that you have a full Uber charge now should be pretty easy.
By
DM.
TRAM on F, a revenge that is. I was going to propose a thought here. Do they even push? And Juxta doesn't pop Uber at all. They just kept it, but eventually 50% Uber advantage.
Well, Sniper is the ultimate class to punish this, but they pop straight at the door. They take out the sentry gun. They even get a bonus kill onto Vanu. That's not supposed to happen. That's what's the point of the sentry gun.
Need to
keep
leave
that sick player. But they've reached the panic room. They clean up all the players there, and with only 2 left alive, they've got a lot of work to be pulling. And I don't think they're going to be pulling this round.
Yak, come on. At least he is going down together with his team. But 30 Maggots already claiming a whole lot of rounds for themselves. And they got to carry on to once more show their prowess once more. Alba didn't have Uber in the end. It is sort of the easy cookie cutter cardboard play. You try to bunker yourselves into the panic room, scathe them off, but the problem is Jordi on a 5k at the end of that, everyone on high kill streaks.
Usually this is the point of the match where tactical pause will come in, but I'm strictly spoken to the admins. They were allowing no tac pauses during the group stage, so they're just going to have to figure this out old school style. And starting off with, I guess it's a defensive line, nobody early losing their fights and lives over on Joey Guns. They're just seeing if they can play into the DM aggression.
So weak, but Juxta finally is that the first death. I haven't lost even count of it. He's still on the fight and on the field by Alba. But honestly, you have to stick to our timetable. You saw though it was on schedule after all. It was the Dirty Maggots coming close, but Alba now features a 100% Uber advantage.
Yeah, so now it should be pretty simple TF2. Take out the medic and just nestle your Uber charge advantage, whether or not you just want to use the threat of it alone, or if you actually want to start get popping. I imagine this team is going to take it easy and not really use the Uber charge until they have to, but we'll see if KN has other words.
KN! And probably one air shot miss, not at all, but T-Ram now is also charging Zems. 2 HP and a dream. Unfortunately, that one is shattered, and our dreams are turning for the enemy team to a nightmare.
It's interesting, they go for the stack instead of actually going aggressive onto second. They could have put them in the bin slightly. Jordi, that's a weapon in the game of Team Fortress 2, but while they're making this push into second, they could maybe start setting up for last.
It is a weapon as well that can insta-kill if you find a favorable angle, but does not seem to be the way though, as they're galloping forth in some aggressive haste here. Juno already has some prior. Sticky is plugged toward his position, but he ultimately keeps alive. The sentry gun now down Jordi as well, so it's a full 100%. That feature against a full 100%. A lot of weak players here on Joey GUNZ, and the counter Uber does come close.
Alov should have really saw that telegraphed sort of jump coming for his point. You were talking about no respect earlier. They really should expect splash classes. It's pretty easy for them to just get some free damage now all over there, but he could have just got jumped away.
I saw the dream glaring up by Vanu. He received a quarrelsome quarrel and aiding bolt by his medic, but ultimately was not LA. That a whole lot of ruins here are going to get ruined. Ruination, Juno down, Juxta though, put into the dumpster.
Okay, but they could maybe nestle this second point and just at least cap the point, kind of delay against Joey GUNZ. This could be really detrimental though if they feel the power of their heals over on Joey GUNZ and take the fight to them.
Decent shots though here to deter the soldier from jumping up any further. KN and Jordi down to the count, so that means Joey GUNZ gains another Uber advantage, another ephemeral player advantage, and essentially another opportunity to narrow down this lead.
I can see why they want to swap Alba for Piggles later on. He must be a cursed class. His POV is always in the concrete for some reason. They pop off Uber now over on Alba and company, and they're going to see if they can get this heavy weapons player down. He has been cleaned up, but can they get any sort of damage for all these scouts to play with?
Now.
Brought down so low though, it costs DM heavy casualties though. A lot of work has been put into place, and
comes
they will
close.
manage to clip this over on Joey
And a
GUNZ.
3-1. They were so recalcitrant to still keep alive. Juno and Vanu on the field, firing at different targets, to be quite frankly honest with you, but how eponymous for a team that is sometimes discombobulated, disjointed, since they still have enough DM to reign triumphant over DM.
But that's a morale boosting round. Anything that you can prove to yourself that, hey, we can get rounds in this game against this team, we just need to find the right methods and methodology. So they found that now. They just need to replicate it. A lot easier task.
Yeah, it's basically just 50-50 whether or not you win or you lose. 50% you win, 50% you lose. But now Alov already is staring down the barrel of some soldiers jumping him. He basically prongs himself out of there. Can they dart forth in some aggressive manner? Alov, however, is claimed. Juxta though, again, Kotazir reloaded. But no, Yak comes close here with the pipes. They are magnetic after all.
Yeah, they took a philosophical change over on DM. They realized, okay, if we're losing the aggressive fight, let's just not go aggressive. They're just taking their sweet time against Joey GUNZ. And would you believe it, the sweet time method did win them initially the mid fight, but in the late fight, they actually lost against Joey GUNZ.
I'm praising bot mode, usually bot mode enabled, but this time it was Juno had the bot mode enabled. Like, did this guy ever even miss shots on the scatter gun, on the pistol? Very well. Shot up now on his own deathmatch capabilities, and suddenly Joey GUNZ in a bit of a driving seat, but it's probably a poking and prodding game soon enough until one soldier already very much forward here in the choke, but backs out.
I know what you're thinking, it's fine, they've got that freedom config, that progressive config that's going to help them bail out, but it's not going to happen. This is a group stage, I need to remind everybody. So this is still quite a squeeze of the timer that Joey GUNZ are going to be feeling here.
Can you please personally also remind me again? It's Vanu now coming close here to the sniper rifle and with the bone. Vanu, that is a classic jump for him. Oh no, Vanu!
Oh no,
He's doing it
go.
again! No,
oh
Vanu,
no, wait,
yes,
oh, can you do the second part?
Vanu.
Easy.
Yes!
Well done.
Last
Big clapper, big clap for our buddy
it
Vanu.
Took 4 attempts. This time it only takes 3.
He did it. Now, can he do the third and most important step, which is, oh no, is all that work for nothing? Can he just jumps down anyway?
Anyway, I mean, nothing really of note was changed, only that they're probably aware of the sniper here. You can see Zems plastering the enemy team Sua with the stickies. He's quite far forward though, a bit locked out of position on the low ground, still positioned.
You can already see Zams moving up, trying to spam out that sniper from the low ground. And Vanu, like any good sniper, is going to keep rotating, keep him guessing here over on DM.
With this melee as well, you can send shivers down their spine, and with this rescan, maybe some more people are unlocked.
Oh.
Yes, Vanu is peeking in, but no! Juxta wasn't even aware of the sniper, still whittles about and not headshot.
Yeah, hero shot sometimes ends you as an anti-hero, as your anti are living. As,
It's fine, Taylor Swift. We get the reference. Oh, it's the force now onto Elba coming out here, and they lost 2 players in this disarray.
Alright, so with Uber charges out, this makes it quite easy peasy for DM to make them play the game. They just need to move forward, and they've always got this Uber charge to back them up in case things just go awry. And Joey GUNZ, they actually opt to not send any sort of awrying players. Oh, I'd lie.
Vanu, when will you ever learn your lesson? As he probably is
Smells him.
That's a Juxta medic. He's still juxtaposed.
I smell him as well. There's something definitely Estonian around here.
Okay, well, anyway, he is now uncloaking on the scout disguise, but oh, does he fool the soldier? No, I don't think he does.
But why? Why, Vanu? Why did you do that?
And that was minus 34 damage.
Okay, but I'm pretty sure... Did he see him, or am I blind?
I'm pretty sure you saw him, yeah, he just saw the 7th gamer. He's also going to take crater damage. Not a spy main at all here, but the Beyblade medic, Juxta, is he being ripped now? Is Vanu? No! Beyblade medic! Brrr.
Vanu, have you not played enough Highlander? Everybody knows what that Invis watch sounds like.
Yeah, definitely, and not the sizzling cacophony, which would have been the medic drop to Rem, is ultimately shot out by the opposing flank soldier.
Okay, so they've got 100% Uber charges on both these teams, so that shenanigans did buy enough time for Joey GUNZ at least, but they don't want to be defending here, they want to be attacking. There's 9 minutes left and they've got 2 rounds.
Oh, bug mode! And you don't visit my sideline, no, you visit that respawn queue!
Alright, well, that's opened up the game, so maybe Joey GUNZ can get back into this by losing this round and then maybe just gaining 3 rounds back instead of 2.
And Zeps is already leaping in, so much damage here, so much destructive damage. Do I hear boss music once more? Yes, tune into a Shazams to find out here as F is already charging on the last point. So much cap time gain, and it's a 4-1 lead for Dirty Maggots.
Pretty clean, but we've got 5 rounds on the board before we could see a 5th Mercy round from DM. So there's still opportunity for Joey GUNZ. Is it unlikely? It's unlikely.
Still clean. I think what you meant to say, pretty dirty from Dirty Maggots.
Oh, I see. Well, let's see if they give him the gun over on Joey GUNZ.
You see how the gun that is now called is coming out here. It's a classic sniper rifle.
Okay,
it's
so
the classic.
I need to zoom in for this one. My old man eyes. Oh my god, it really is the classic. Well, classically, people don't play this. This gun is really difficult to pull off because you're usually very stationary. Also, you roll out very slowly as well. Vanu could play maybe this more like Product. He will blow up Zams over on the second point, and now DM are kind of scratching their heads like, oh man, how do we deal with this
He has
sniper?
5 more soon-to-be corpses on Dirty Maggots, rotting away here at Juxta, but no, Juxta again with the dodges, the weaves, the dives, the suave movement.
Beautiful. That was beautiful. Okay, well, back to square one. And square one. Yeah, square one looks like it's another Sentry Gun club for Joey GUNZ, and if they wanted to be really cruel here, DM, they could just slow this game right down and keep Alba in the concrete.
Concretely speaking, that still is a specific play here, though, to talk about bot mode on Sniper. Just a herald, usually, for the medic set, a protege even. So now we have to basically slow cast a Sniper trying to crack one skull open, and you're definitely aware that he will find one.
Alright, so he's hit them from what seems like every angle so far. I wonder if he's actually going to have mercy on Alba and like go for a demo class instead. Not the dispenser Jordy, I should say.
I mean, it is sort of a secondary medic if you really think about it. It is a
an
force.
Uber? Excuse me?
A whole lot of damage being flanked towards the lobby area. Zems though suffers. Bot mode as well. That is not what they were aiming for here on the defense, but the offensive Joey GUNZ Uber definitely wreaked havoc.
Yeah, this is a costly Uber. You're basically banking that these 2 picks are going to be enough for you to make the push out, but they can just counter with their own Uber at any time. This is why you really don't see a push outs with Uber starting from the defenders.
Especially since we have one who's still on the engineer, but Juno is coming close here. Juxta still able to pop out, has the comms provided toward Bomo and Jordy. We have our medic alive. We do not have the KG here, but Juxta doesn't die at all. We've seen that before. Alof reigns supreme against Jordy.
You know, before you squeeze the light out of anything, you see a lot of like visceral shakings. You know, just kind of like dying out the last little moments. And this is the sort of fight back that Joey Guns are doing. It's desperate. It looks a bit skittish, but it is basically a sign that Joey Guns are just losing life here.
Yeah, we are full into necrology territory here now, where I'm writing your obituary. Zems already has some player stickies plugged forward. Alba, however, since they used an Uber earlier, has a mild Uber advantage. So it is not 100% bad, but you also have to be aware of the timer. Only 5.5 minutes to go.
Yes, yes. Even though we're playing the progressive rule set down the line, even LAN is not going to miss out a bit of dead time here. So in dead time usually means clown time. So get in the sniper class, or the spy class. It's time for some pistols.
He's trying to shank him in the alleyway, but F was time after time aware of his folly. Spot mode also uses the SMG to clean off the stickies. Also, T-Ram just watching into the sky. You cannot headshot me.
Wow, bot mode could hit some insane shots, but he can't hit that just a simple S&D'ing soldier.
Well, I mean, he was looking into the sky, and that definitely gave him some sort of epiphany, as now Jordi can be the break-even point man here. Never mind, they're losing their players. Only F and Jaxta alive.
Yeah, we're playing things a bit fast and loose now. I think everyone realizes like it's not really a serious point in the game, so I expect pushers, expect defenses to be kind of a bit lackluster from both teams. It's not top tier anymore.
I mean, honestly, we can still, though, trust it to Joey Guns. If it's any team here to be very aggressive, is still in the wake of maybe looming defeat here, but no, the deathmatch is too heavy. Juno also trapped out.
Yeah, you can see those sorts of positions taken by the soldiers. A very good job of pushing out the enemy team, and it also usually bears one player that has to be left out in the open and away from that shutter door.
And it definitely made them shutter. KN, anyway, is still walking around a mild bit. Ubers are even now only 4 minutes on the clock. I am getting the steering pod out there, but it's Juno on the defensive sniper.
Okay, nice bait from Yak, drawing in that scout. I guess it was just too tantalizing to ignore, but they still need to do the rest of the drawing here, and it's a really hard drawing. They have to push out onto second. There's going to be a lot of spam coming their way, so much so they actually lose Alof during the push.
Whereas Alof tried to find salvation, only he was the one that found a coffin. There are also some stickies plastered in one. Ultimately, Yak did not fall victim to them, but Vaughn, who switches to the heavy weapons guy, post shot on last, but you really just have to defend it. KN is already sending it, but no, it's a panorama bomb, and you're back into that respawn queue. Jordi down as well.
I think they were expecting a sentry gun there, so they could just rotate Jordi around really quickly, but no,
a
already a pre-made heavy weapons guy to deal with these sorts of pre-made jumps. Yak trying to push out of one, but still being spammed down. Alof is wondering where the hell is the rest of my team?
A mobile sentry gun was post shot there essentially, but Banu down to 18 HP. They can't really pressure cook this. You see, even if one player falls down into the disbenefit of DM, they're still able, with their death match, to reign supreme, lock them in. Also, Pros is not that easy to push out from, but now Banu, very easy to push into the biggest class of them all. Switches back down in the spawn. Juno now has Uber popped onto him. Zems immediately cult, but Jaxta didn't use his Uber.
I mean, I guess mission success from DM. They will get the force out, if you can call it a force, but they're losing a lot of bodies on the second point. They actually have to use it in this single bot mode to see if they can get the kill, but now they can't really play and capitalize off all the kills they made because they're not even on the last.
Decent mid-air shot. Elba, don't cheat, get off that ground, and now
Our
get
block
onto
team.
that pound. Get on that point as it seals the deal. DM reign triumphant, and 2 minutes still on the clock. A shout out to Joey Guns. They definitely gave it a shot and their best. We are the clapping in the background, but energetic.
Yeah, it was explosive. It was a kind of a statement made by DM.
Yeah.
The fact that they're showing that divide of that top pedigree of LAN competitor, showing that where Joey Guns are going to be in this sort of LAN and where DM are going to be.
That's a very nice, way of saying they get maybe sometimes demolished in the end, and just wanted to show them the ropes, you know, like we are a top force. And we were wondering, I was raising the questions, are they toppled or shaken from this online experience? But no, it's offline.
No, that's the short answer of it. No, Yak. I don't think Yak is ever shaken by any event in his life. He's a man of absolute cold, calculated steel. And they knew this game was going to be hard. They called it a real game themselves. But, you know, maybe the desk have better opinions than we.
Thank you very much, Turbo Tabs. We're back on the couch, this time with Cerny and Wan, who is stepping in for Demul for this segment. There's a close one, maybe not as close as we expected, but it was still a bit of a fight from Joey GUNZ. It got a bit weird towards the end, I think. But you know, how are we feeling about that one? Do we think we've learned much about these two teams from that best of one, Cerny?
I think we saw that Joey GUNZ are, as per usual, a bit slow on day one of LAN. I think it's a team that traditionally, every time I've seen them play, they always take a little bit of time to get warmed up. Varnu especially always kind of, I think, underperforms day one of LAN, especially the first few matches, and then suddenly turns up towards the later end of day one and day two. So I think they're just continuing that trend right now. They're playing a little bit conservatively. Well, not in terms of shenanigans, but like in terms of their playstyle, they're just, you know, slower. They're not really on top of it yet. And then come in 4 hours' time, maybe they're suddenly going to be upsetting something, you know?
Yeah, speaking of Varnu, with the classic sniper did come out in that game. Right, Wan, are you a believer in the classic sniper, or do you think it's just some, you know, silly, cringe alternative option?
I think it is objectively worse than the stock sniper rifle 99% of the time. I also think it probably looks to be a bit of a preference thing. For me, the big times where it really matters are not on process. It's on a map like Product, where the classic sniper can be very, very effective and in a different way than what you're used to. So you not only have to adapt to dealing with sniper, you also have to adapt to a classic sniper. But this process game, process is for me not a map that really allows Joey GUNZ to fully stand out in what they can do. I think if you're Joey GUNZ, you look at the players, difference in sort of, I would say, player strength between these two teams. You're not going to be going for the sort of traditional route. If you want to beat these teams, especially in these best of ones, play into your strengths of doing all these random chaotic things. Process is just not really a map that allows you to go that far in that regard.
Yeah, no, I'd agree. We've got some logs on the screen. I'm not sure there's too much of a surprise here, of course. Scouts doing well on process, not something that we've necessarily going to be a surprise. Yunu actually topping out on DPM is impressive for a losing team, but yeah, like you say, it was a little bit disjointed at times, and it felt like Joey GUNZ couldn't really get themselves going.
Yeah, they were just struggling to find answers, right? Struggling to make things stick as well. They off-class a lot. They try to throw different things out, and nothing really works. And then you see Botmo just switch onto sniper, walk into rollout, and just instantly headshot the medic. It's like, that's impact. It just works, right? The sniper plays don't work on the other side. Maybe, yeah, like Varno hit a shot every once in a while, and Juno hit one every once in a while, but they try. The success rate is a lot lower, right? And then you see the DM just whip out the sniper play. Oh, well, there goes a round off the back of it, right? So the impact is a lot more noticeable there, and I'm starting to think that this Botmo guy might be really good, and maybe like the whole 5 ping thing might be helping him quite a bit as well. I think the ping advantage suddenly comes into play quite a bit more.
Yeah, we spoke with Demul about like the whole idea of like if you're playing like within Europe and ETF2L, going as like a soldier player from like 40, 50, 60 ping down to 5 is a big feel. But like as a scout, he's playing from American ping to 5 ping. Like, I don't know, obviously it's hit scan, it's like less of a deal, but like that amount of ping is huge. Yeah. And I we can kind of tell the difference, right? Like Bobo, even like he looked good online. I feel like on this LAN he's just an entirely different beast. But I don't know, is anyone like, I don't know, we've sung President Bomber, who's like who are we saying one? Who is like who is your standout player, do you think, on Maggots this game?
On the Maggots, this game for me, it just has to be bot mode. I think it's good that we bring him up as well. This is a DM team that kind of, I think to a lot of people's surprise, ended up taking the ETF2L season, and taking this also very solid win against Joey GUNZ, just kind of solidifies their place as sort of like they're a team that's really going to be building a lot of momentum, right? And this is another team that they've obviously played a lot against during the season. They've been scrimming against them. Taking this very clear dominant victory now on process as well, it's going to be setting them up very, very good for the tournament. This is a team where I think for me coming into it, wasn't necessarily expecting them to actually contest the top teams. Now, I think like this is a team where the conversation is more like, how far can they actually go? I think the argument for me after last weekend, after games like these, for them actually being a contender for the finals is much, much, much more realistic.
Yeah, I feel like this sort of like, I think basically everyone in the building has Witness as their sort of favourites to win the tournament. But like, for me, like giving sort of chatting with people around the building, like everyone has a different ordering for these teams, like 2 through 4, right? And I think we see performances like this from DM. I think, I think there's an argument. I originally had them as the 4th one coming in. I was like, I had them below Mandem and White Lotus, but. Certainly, have things changed for you? Do you see them maybe having a push?
Yeah, I'm surprised we didn't do like the thing we did with Uberfest, where you have like the every caster gives their ranking for the playoffs, because I feel like we would see a lot of variance here, and it would be very different from everybody. Like going into this, I would have been like, okay, Witness, probably White Lotus, Mandem, maybe DM, and then like down from there. But now it really is a toss-up. I think Witness still probably win overall unless, one team steps up insanely much, at least from what we've seen. Like, it's hard to say now, right? Maybe Witness is suddenly trash, which would be very surprising. But who knows, right? But the remaining spots are a complete toss-up, I think. It's a complete mishmash. We won't know until at the very, very least, like, halfway through the playoffs tomorrow, how things might shake out. Up until that point, I think it's going to be completely open.
It's funny, you lose a few American players. We talked about Bomo earlier, and now you talk about maybe White Lotus being the second best. White Lotus were my sort of like second team coming in, as who I thought was going to be maybe making it to the final. But we've got an American team coming. It's going to be Fjord, and they're going to be playing the first match for an American team in Europe since I-69, all those years ago. And that is going to be coming up after a short break. So stick around for some Americans playing TF2 on LAN in Europe. It's going to be Fjord Gaming. Let's see you all after a short break.